Morning, Dr. Latha Rajendran. Are you with us?
Yes.
Can you please switch on your video?
Yeah, I have. Can you see?
I'm not able to see 1 minute.
Yeah.
I'm not able to see your face.
You're not able to see
I'm
my
not
face?
able to see your face. Okay. So can we start the program?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for joining. And good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the expert talk on the topic Maxims of Teaching, organized by Department of Mathematics, SRM Institute of Science and Technology, Ramapuram, Chennai, India. This program is as part of celebration of Teachers' Day. September 5th is observed as Teachers' Day. It is a heartfelt tribute to our educators who have guided and continue to inspire us on our journey to becoming better and more knowledgeable individuals. Additionally, this date marks the birth anniversary of Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, an eminent Indian philosopher who served as the first Vice President and the second President of India. The theme for this year's National Teachers' Day is Teachers at the Heart of Education Recovery. On this special occasion, our department has organized a special lecture on Maxims of Teaching. Maxims of teaching are the universally found facts by teachers on the basis of their experience. It is important for every profession to have some rules, ethics, code, and other boundaries to practice that profession with utter fairness and trust. With the understanding of the maxims, we can now make teaching more effective and systematic. To elaborate on the subject, today we have Dr. Latha Rajendran, Principal and Correspondent at Dr. MGR Institute of Special Education and Research, Chennai. Before we start the program, I consider this as a great honor to introduce Professor Latha Rajendran to the audience. Dr. Latha Rajendran, Principal and Correspondent, Dr. MGR Institute of Special Education and Research, Dr. MGR Home and Higher Secondary School for the Speech and Hearing Impaired, MGR Gardens, Chennai, has been working for the past 32 years for the welfare of persons with the speech and hearing impairment. In order to implement the wishes expressed by Dr. MGR in his will, she worked along with her husband, Mr. M. Rajendran, the executor of the will, in establishing Dr. MGR Home and Higher Secondary School for the Speech and Hearing Impaired at MGR Gardens. Mrs. Latha Rajendran, who held an MPhil in education besides senior diploma in teaching, the deaf and diploma in early intervention and itinerant teaching from Gillard University, Washington, D.C. She qualified herself with a PhD in special education so as to render her best services. With the same vigor to ensure the empowerment of persons with speech and hearing impairment, she established Dr. MGR Janaki College of Arts and Science for Women in 1996 in Satya Studios, which offers several job-oriented undergraduate and postgraduate courses. This college encourages not only women who are first-generation learners, but also women with special needs to access higher education, learning to good placement and empowerment. Dr. MGR Institute of Special Education and Research was established by her and focusing on training teachers to teach children with speech and hearing impairment. On the birth anniversary of Bharat Ratna Dr. MGR, every year since 1993, she is organizing a seminar that seeks to promote the quality of life of people with disability, will attended by participants from across the country. Dr. Latha Rajendran is associated with the Tamil Nadu Open University since 2008, coordinating the Study Center for B.Ed. Apart from this, she is the member of Board of Studies, Department of Special Education, Sri Padmavati Mahila Vishwavidya Tirupati, and Avinashi Lingam Institute for Home Science and Higher Education for Women, Coimbatore, the Department of Education, University of Madras, Chennai. She was the General Secretary formerly and now the President of NCED Tamil Nadu chapter. She received state awards, Best Teacher of the Hearing Impaired in 1996, Best Social Worker for her services for a differently abled person in 2018, and Kalaimamani Award in 2019. Thank you very much, ma'am, for joining us today. On behalf of all the participants, department, I extend a very warm welcome to Dr. Latha Rajendran, and I request her to please take over the session. Ma'am, please.
Yes. Thank you. I'm very happy to be with you all today. On this day when we are celebrating the Teachers' Day. Can we project,
Yes.
share the screen?
Yeah, you can share the PPT, ma'am. Yes. Yeah. Is it possible for you to switch on your video for a few minutes, ma'am, so that we can take the photograph?
Well, I have switched on the video. I haven't.
Yeah, but your photo is not displaying. Your profile photo is on display.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Now?
Now, no.
Wait.
That's okay, ma'am. Please carry on. You share your PPT.
Okay. You can't see me now still?
Yeah, no, yes, no, ma'am. I'm not able to see your face.
Oh, God. Why is it?
That's okay, ma'am. It's okay. You can share your PPT.
Okay. Okay. Here.
Yes, please proceed.
So we can make it into a slide.
Yeah, you can make it in the presentation mode, ma'am. You can give Control L. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Actually, in our country, teachers were considered as the most important superior persons who were dispensers of darkness through knowledge. So the system of education in ancient India was formed with the teachers as a supreme authority. The teacher referred to as Guru in ancient India was placed on par with God and revered. The often quoted sloka to bring out the supremacy of the Guru is Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. The Stotram claims that the Guru possesses knowledge, power, truth, and reality. He removes the darkness through the light of knowledge. There is no reality beyond the Guru, and there is no knowledge of the truth beyond what comes from the Guru. So that was the place where Guru was placed in ancient India. September 5th is celebrated as the Teachers' Day. As you said, Radha Krishnan, his birthday. And not only Radha Krishnan's birthday, it also happens to be Vavu Chidambarana's birthday and also Mother Teresa's death anniversary. So, PPT is visible, isn't it, ma'am? Hello?
Ma'am, it is visible, ma'am. You can proceed, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. But you can't see me, only me, no? Okay.
We see both your
Yes.
video and as well as the PPT.
Okay, thank you. So, so Radhakrishnan, we all know that he's an educationist and he stands for knowledge. Mother Teresa, compassion and love, and Vavu Chidambaranar for patriotism and hard work. So all these things are required for teachers. All these qualities are important for teachers. So it's a coincidence that it is not only Radha Krishnan's birthday, but also Vavu Chidambarana's birthday and Mother Teresa's death anniversary. This we all know. Mediocre teachers tell Good teacher explains, the superior teacher demonstrates, and the great teacher inspires. William Arthur Ward, we have to be inspiring teachers. And every child is endowed with talents within them. You cannot say this child is useless or anything. Any child who's born have a lot of talents that are inherent in them. To identify his inherent potential and make it blossom, and to help streamline these talents in order to make the child work towards the development of the country, is the foremost duty of every teacher. And a teacher needs to be always studying, a learner. And when he ceases to be a learner, he also ceases to be a teacher. So only a light that is burning can light the other lamps. A lamp can only light another lamp when it continues to burn in its own flame, said Rabindranath Tagore. We used to think that intelligence is just a single thing, and it used to be measured as IQ with by using some standard tests. But Howard Gardner found out that it is not just that. Intelligence, there are different types of intelligence, and all people have different percentage of, more of one kind of intelligence. Another child may have another kind of intelligence, like musical intelligence. Another child might have verbal linguistic intelligence. Another child may have kinesthetic intelligence, good in sports and dance and all those things. They are body smart. Then some children may be having good spatial intelligence. So each child is endowed with different types of intelligence, and Howard Gardner found out this. In the dynamic landscape of education, we have come to realize that intelligence is not a singular entity measured solely by traditional standardized tests. Howard Gardner, a prominent Harvard psychologist, revolutionized our understanding of human intelligence with his theory of multiple intelligence. According to Gardner, there are various forms of intelligence, each unique and valuable in its own right. These multiple intelligences encompass linguistic intelligence, logical mathematical intelligence, musical spatial intelligence, spatial intelligence, bodily kinesthetic intelligence, interpersonal, intrapersonal, and naturalistic intelligence. Interpersonal intelligence is very important because children should be able to adjust themselves with the environment, socialize with others, all these things, that is interpersonal intelligence. And intrapersonal intelligence is looking within yourself. You understand yourself, and you know what your strengths and weaknesses are. And, that is intrapersonal intelligence. You know what you're good at, and so you do those things. Then now Howard Gardner is also talking about existential intelligence and pedagogical intelligence. Existential intelligence is asking the bigger questions. Why are we born? What are we here for? What have we come here for? What does the universe expect from us? Such philosophical questions and things like that. And pedagogical intelligence, as we all know, the intelligence that is used to teach other people or share our knowledge with others. So all these intelligence, so each child is endowed with different proportions of all these intelligence. Everything is there within every child, but in different proportions. Some great dancers like Dr. Padma Subramaniam and all will have kinesthetic intelligence. Like they'll be able to, through their body, express whatever they would like to say in a very aesthetic manner. So such people also, with kinetic intelligence will be very good athletes and they'll be able to do. But others who are not so good at sports may be very good at mathematics and logical thinking. So that is logical mathematical intelligence. So some other persons may be very good at um, verbal intelligence. They'll be poets and they'll be writers, playwrights or whatever, all these things, and some people be very good artists and architects will be very good at spatial intelligence. So people are endowed with different types of intelligence, in the sense everything is there in everybody, but certain things are more prominent or more in proportion. But then intelligence is as such not static. You can develop whichever part of intelligence that you like to, what will be useful for your life. So you can develop the intelligence. This theory reminds us that every student possesses a distinctive set of talents and abilities. No two individuals have the same pattern of intelligence. As educators, it is our responsibility to recognize and nurture these diverse intelligence, fostering an environment where students can thrive in their own individual ways. We can provide varied experiences in this digital era in the classroom. Every concept can be taught in more than one way. Digital media has made it possible. Materials, resources, activities, movies, dance, music, etc., can be provided in whatever way the students find it interesting and in a way he or she uses his intelligence productively in a way that is comfortable to the learner. So all these things have to be taken into account. It should be depending upon the different learning styles. If a child can remember and understand, learn through doing certain things, then you must give him activities and make him involved in doing those things. Others, visually, if they are able to learn, pictures and videos should be shown to make it more learnable for the child according to his learning style. And it should also suit the way he stores it in his mind, understands it. And also assessment should be according to the way the child is good at expressing. Your aim is only to find out what the child has learned. So from that, by giving him opportunities to express himself, you can find out and assess him and see whether he has learned what you have want to teach. So, and also see to it that the child is comfortable in that way of learning. Everything that is understood can be expressed in more than one way, and make sure that every student is reached. If there are 50 people in your class, you must see to it that everybody has learned something from what you're teaching. And nowadays, this digital media has helped us to bring various types of experiences into the classroom. And also you can give activities and assignments and different types of things according to the students' needs. You can provide various kinds of experience. Like you have to be innovative and try to present your material, whatever content you want to deliver, in various ways, so that in multiple ways, so that it will reach all the students that who are there in the class. So varied experiences in a way to make it interesting, use intelligence productively and comfortable for the learner. Other things that you should remember are: inspire a thirst for knowledge. A great teacher instills a lifelong passion for learning. They spark curiosity, encouraging students to explore beyond the confines of the textbook. They have to lead, teachers have to lead by example. Teachers are not just providers of knowledge, they are role models. Your actions speak louder than words, and your dedication to continuous self improvement inspires your students to do the same thing. So you have to keep on improving yourself. And this dedication to your continuous self improvement will also inspire your students to be that way and improve themselves. Every day should be a learning day. Every day you should, be a wiser person. Then foster critical thinking. Encourage your students to question, analyze, and think independently. In a world overflowing with information, the ability to think critically is more valuable than ever. And like in your university, there may be people from other parts of India, other countries also. So you have to recognize that every student is different, and his past experience, his culture, everything is different, and adapt your teaching methods to suit their unique needs. Effective teaching is about flexibility and responsiveness. You have to be responsive to the needs of the taught or your students. So it is very important that you have to remember that they come from a different culture, and when you give examples and all that, it should also, you should make sure that they also understand from your examples. And then the very important thing is you have to cultivate empathy. You have to put yourself in the shoes of your students, understand the emotional needs of your students. A compassionate teacher creates a safe and nurturing environment where students can learn and grow. Vivekananda says, without real sympathy, we can never teach well. So it's very important for every teacher to be empathetic towards the students and understand their needs. So now let us see what are the maxims of teaching. Maxims are universal truths laid down by experience, useful tips from experienced teachers. They bridge the gap between the teacher and the taught. They make learning interesting and systematic, and they ensure effective and efficient teaching. So these are the maxims, like from known to unknown, simple to complex, concrete to abstract, particular to general, and whole to part. Psychological to logical, induction to deduction, empirical to rational, analysis to synthesis, and actual to representative. So known to unknown. Where is this? Sorry. Retention is always better if new knowledge can be linked with the known knowledge. First, find out what they know, your class, and then introduce things related to that, and then teach them. So it facilitates learning process and economizes the efforts of the teacher and the taught. It is a natural method of teaching. New knowledge to be given to pupil must be logical with their previous knowledge and relate to previous knowledge and lead to new concepts. So it applies to everything that you teach, from junior nursery to maybe higher education. Oh, it's going backward. This is just an example. From known to unknown, you can, when you're teaching, before teaching profit or loss, you can talk to the child about their experiences going to a shop and how the shopkeeper sells and all these things, about buying and selling and all these things, and then talk about profit or loss. Sorry. Okay, from simple to complex. Simple ideas first are introduced, and then complex levels should be introduced gradually. First, the surface meaning, then the underlying meaning. Move from easy to difficult. Gradually move to more difficult items of learning, maybe presented to the students. If it will smoothen teaching and make learning convenient and interesting for the students. It will smoothen the teaching and make learning convenient and interesting for the students. From simple to complex. What happened? Concepts that can be realized by the five senses. From concrete to abstract. That is like what you can first talk about concrete things and then talk about visualizing something which is abstract. Those that can be seen and understood first, and then other concepts which can only be grasped should come later. Like from simple interest and then from simple to complex. So give examples of simple interest, teach them simple interest, and then go to compound interest. From particular to general. Particular concept first and then general. First, tell them the story and then the moral of the story. Particular sonnet by Shakespeare, and then structure of a sonnet can be taught. From the whole to part. Whole topic presented, then the details should be given. That will be easier to retain. Gestalt psychologists called Gestalt have proved that we first see a whole object and then its parts. Like you first look at the tree and then the branches and the flowers and fruits and things like that. This is example. First talk about the cycle and then its parts. Whatever your subject is, you can do. The approach should be based on children's tendencies, interests, aptitudes, attitudes, and reactions. So first, you have to understand the psychology of the child. And according to the psychology and the level of maturity of the child, you have to present your lessons so that they will be able to, then the logical ones things that have to be reasoned out should be taught later. First, you have to understand the psychology. You have to understand the psychology, the aptitudes, attitudes, and reactions. Though the aim of education is to make mind more logical and to train the reasoning power, the initial approach of teaching should be psychological and then logical. That is psychological. Be tuned to your learners first, and then grab the attention and hold it. You must attract the attention of your students and then relate to personal experiences when you're teaching a concept, and then relate the concept to real world concepts, what they are seeing around them. Then hold the attention with related examples so that it is interesting for them. Then attaining logical understanding of the concept is based on the psychological presentation. This is induction to and deduction method. Like induction method is give lots of examples, and we should actually give, like when you're teaching grammar, you have to give similar sentences structure and then see what the rule that is followed and then derive the general rule. That is the inductive method. Acquire specific concepts from general examples and rules. In the inductive method, students form ideas and learn general concepts. In deductive method, rules are first given and then examples are sought from the students. The ability to know something, to learn and verify it is acquired first, and then the ability to interpret it on the basis of logic or reasoning develops afterwards. So first, empirical knowledge based on experiments and observations, and then rational knowledge should be given. First, observe and then apply it to something else, and that is based on logical and rational knowledge. Empirical knowledge is based on scientific approach, and rational knowledge is based on logical reasoning. Analysis, synthesis. Okay. Analysis means dividing problems into smaller problems and then first trying to understand different parts of it and then learning by the parts. After that, synthesis, which means combining these things and understanding the whole. Synthesis is absorbing as a whole. Synthesis. So analysis to synthesis. Teaching is more effective when teachers display actual teaching aids instead of artificial ones before the pupil in the classroom. As far as possible, if a person can be taken on a field trip and if they observe things like when you're teaching biology or something like that, if they really see the real thing, it is easier for them to understand and then teach them with other examples. Research has shown that natural teaching materials has more influence in the teaching process instead of artificial ones. You've heard about the Edgar Dale's cone of experience. It's gone out. So just by reading out from a book, only 10% of what we have to learn will be learned. But 20% of hearing words, by listening, you'll be able to learn 20%. By seeing, you can learn 30% of what we see. By watching a movie or looking at an exhibit, watching a demonstration, seeing it done on location, 50% of what we see and hear will be learned. All this is passive learning. Participating in a discussion and giving a talk will help 70% of the learning to take place, and doing a dramatic presentation, simulating the real experience, doing the real thing. 90% of what we say and do, we can do. When you make the students do something, it is possible that they learn more. When you involve the students in the activity, then they are able to really learn through experience. Benefits of these maxims: makes teaching simple and interesting, makes teaching joyful and interactive. Maxims make teaching purposeful and meaningful, to create creativity among the students, and it helps to analyze and synthesize by students, to develop scientific attitude and learning by doing, to develop critical thinking. All these things, if you follow the maxims, it will be very useful. And these are the gains that you get out of using the principles that you see in the maxims. Okay. These are the 5 minds for the future. Howard Gardner, we have seen Howard Gardner's multiple intelligence. He says it is intelligence is just not one thing, but different types of intelligence is there. And when we nurture those different types of intelligence, it's not enough if you just stop with it, because intelligence does not always an intelligent person need not be ethical, or intelligence sometimes will not be just using your intelligence. You can even use it for good as well as bad. So when we make a person, when we develop the intelligence of a person, it's not enough. We have to instill in the child values, ethics. So he says these are the 5 minds of the future: disciplinary mind, synthesizing mind, creating mind, respectful mind, and ethical mind. For teachers, it's very important that we instill in the minds of our students these things: discipline, then the ability to synthesize, the ability to create, and then have respect for others, and also be ethical. So disciplinary mind, synthesizing mind, creating mind, respectful mind, and ethical mind is what Howard Gardner says is the needed future mind of the population. So discipline of the mind is another cornerstone of effective education. Discipline doesn't mean stifling creativity or free expression. Rather, it means providing a structured framework within which students can flourish. It's about teaching them the values of focus, perseverance, self-control, qualities that will serve them well throughout their lives. So by disciplined mind, he says that it is very important. We have to instill in the children values of focus. We should learn how to focus on one thing and learn. Then perseverance, not giving up. When we try to do something, if it's not possible, if you fail first time, you shouldn't give up easily. You must continue to try other ways of doing it and have the quality of perseverance. Then self-control. You may be angry, but you mustn't just blurt out something that is not ethical. So it's important to understand when something happens, first understand the situation, think logically, and then express yourself in a right manner. That is self-control. Sometimes you may have a desire to eat all the chocolates that are left in front of you, but then so many other people should also be, it should be shared with others also. So you have to realize that there are so many people, so we cannot take everything ourselves. So that is self-control. Then qualities that will serve them well throughout their lives. These are the qualities that will serve the person, the pupil, throughout their life. It will be very useful for them. And the need of the day. Teachers should have a student-friendly approach. Previously, it was teacher-centered. Whatever the teacher wants to teach, he would just come and teach. But now it's not like that. We have to, whatever we do in the class should be pupil-centered, student-centered. We have to see, I told you that their learning styles are different. Their way of expressing is different. The way of storing it in their mind is different. So we have to understand what will suit the students who we are teaching and see to it that we present our, lessons or content in in such a way that will suit the students' attitude, aptitude, or that, there's, we have to understand them, tune into them, and then do it. Be sensitive, and it should be positively channeled. Emotional intelligence, you all would have heard about it. Daniel Goleman, he said, it's just not enough if you are capable of doing various things and your intelligence, you have a big IQ, but it's very important to have emotional intelligence. And what is emotional intelligence? Self-awareness, self-management, empathy, and social wellness. That is, you're able to live in this world in harmony with the society which around. So you must be able to adjust to various different situations that you are put in. And you must be able to communicate in a very pleasant manner. You mustn't get angry and fight with people. You must be able to adjust in various situations. All these things are depending upon your emotional intelligence. And developing emotional intelligence is very, very important. When you see, you must provide experiences for children to work in teams, and they should be able to give everybody opportunity, and like that we have to see to it that they are emotionally intelligent. Then make the voiceless in the class voice their thoughts. It's very important that you see that everybody participates. Everybody in the class participates. Conclusion: nurture young wards who are distinctively human. Develop a normal psyche among our species, that is, human beings. Minds need to be molded, maintained, sharpened, and catalyzed. Then positive human potentials can be cultivated. Learning is, in any discipline, should be applied. We should be able to apply the knowledge that we have gained in the class or in the during the curriculum. It is one thing that I would like to say is we have to just not give surface knowledge, but you have to give in-depth knowledge. For that, if the content is a lot, you have to prioritize what you have to give more importance to and spend more time on, and see to it that children learn what they have to learn, prioritize it, and give in-depth understanding of it. For example, if you're teaching some science, make them hypothesize and then collect different information, try out various things, and then find the results, and then later come to a conclusion. So when you keep doing this for a long time, like if you have to give them in-depth knowledge, you can't just do it immediately. You have to spend some time and do it. And once you give them different experiences to understand facts scientifically, later on when they go, they will know what is actually fact and what is opinion. So they'll be able to think scientifically and observe and use knowledge. So like that, we have to see to it that whatever is being taught is taught in a deep manner so that they understand it in detail. It's so that it is deeply embedded in their mind and it can be used lifelong. Otherwise, whatever is taught just gets I mean, you forget it after you finish the course. Just before the exams, you study, and then, all that is only surface knowledge. You have to give in-depth knowledge, and you have to prioritize among the content that you have to prioritize and see to it certain things are given in depth. And then a synergistic development of our minds and those of young ones is sure. Only when we cultivate respect and ethical orientation, then it is possible. Learning in any discipline should be applied, enable synthesis and creativity, simultaneously cultivating respect and ethical orientation. I told you, just intelligence is not enough. Intelligence plus character is very important. So the message is, globalization has empowered teachers. A teacher ceases to be a teacher when she ceases to learn. Innovate numerous learning experiences to enhance the skills of the learners. Intelligence plus character, that is the mark of true education, said Martin Luther King. So thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity to be with you all on Teachers' Day. I hope what I said was useful. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much for your excellent and elaborate presentation. Thank you very much. And thank you for spending your valuable time. First of all, accepting our invitation with the neck of the moment and accepting our invitation. Thank you very much, ma'am. On behalf of all the participants, I extend a heartfelt thanks to Dr. Latha, Rajendran. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Now, this is the time for the question answer session. Participants, if you have any doubts or queries, you can raise your questions to Dr. Latha Rajendran, either by unmuting yourself, or you can post your questions in the chat box. Participants, you are most welcome to ask questions.
Madam, thanking you very much, madam, for this taking this session. In fact, I've been watching your presentation in online. The preparation is wonderful, madam. In fact, I'm very happy that the Teachers' Day, which have been celebrated in the mark the respect of Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan sir, who is a philosopher, a spokesman, and is a person is having a lot of is established the teaching standards in the teaching community. To mark his respect birthday, we have been celebrating as a Teachers' Day, and still we remember about the teachers, particularly in the beginning stage. At the school level, teachers influences a lot. And when you come to the engineering and this post-graduation, PhD, the role of teachers may not be that much influencing because our maturity level will be a little bit high. If particularly from standards up to the 10th, those are teachers have been motivated or molded and punished like anything and all. Still we have more remembrance of those teachers. School teachers will play a vital role. They have been taught the basics and all, discipline, everything we learn from there. And I will appreciate you, madam, in spite of your busy schedule, you have given a presentation. And I'll appreciate the mathematics department, which have taken the topic is maximum of teaching. In fact, it is nowadays it's teaching methodology has been changed a lot. Nowadays, we have only restricted to blackboard teaching. Now, a lot of teaching methodology has been changed. So, what do you say? Maxims of teaching are the universal fact found out by the teacher on the basis of his experience. And the knowledge of different maxims help the teacher to proceed in a systematic manner. I know Madam was talking about the educationalist who has contributed in this particular area, maxims, maybe Hebert, Spencer, or Comenius. In short, in their successful teaching, the use of teaching maxims is very, very essential. I can, in other words, say the principles of teaching cannot be used without the following these maxims. So we are still in the continuous teaching learning process. We try to learn from our seniors and as well as sometimes even from the juniors also. So the teaching will be the ultimate. I'll appreciate the department has identified the most suitable person talk about this today's topic. Mrs. Latha Rajendran Madam, who is a correspondent MGR Educational Research Chennai. I must be very thankful to you, Madam. Okay. This type of programs and the sessions are very essential to upgrade our skills, Madam. Thanking you for giving this opportunity on a specific day, Madam. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dean sir, for your appreciating words, and thank you very much for that. Now, participants, you are welcome to raise your questions. Professor Latha Rajendran is with us. You can post your questions in the chat box also. Yeah, I'm not seeing any questions in the chat box. I request the participants, you can unmute yourself and ask the questions to Dr. Rajendran. Yeah. If there is no question, now it is time to close the session. Thank you very much, Professor Latha Rajendran. In spite of your busy schedule, you have accepted and graced the function. Thank you very much. Once again, on behalf of everybody, management, participants, and myself, I extend a wholehearted thank you to Latha Rajendran for gracing this occasion and sharing her experience under the title of Maxims of Teaching, which is very much essential for this generation teachers. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And thank you. And with your kind permission, shall we close the meeting, ma'am?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Nice to see you. Thank you.